Okay, kids, so I'm going to show you how to start the weaving on your loom. So first of all, be certain that you're finished painting. First thing we have to do is add the warp. The warp are the strings that go from hole to hole here, and that is the part that you're actually going to be weaving in and out of. When you are finished, you won't see that much of your warp. You'll see a little bit, but I always tell students that you probably want to choose a color you like, but maybe not your very favorite color, because it will not show up that much when you're finished. If you think about if you've ever seen a carpet that has fringe on the edges of it, that is the fringe is the warp of the carpet. So here we go. We have mine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes at the top and 5 at the bottom. So I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to pull it once. This is just measuring to see how much yarn I need. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm being really loose with this. I'd rather have a little too much than not enough. I think I was on 3, 4, 5. So now I should have enough to go in all my holes. And you know what I like to do? I say pull it for the number of holes you have, which is either 3 or 5, and then add 2. So I'm on 5. I'm going to do 6, 7, just to make sure that you have enough. And then you're going to snip it with some scissors. Okay, cut it. And please put the cap back on these awesome little yarn bottle holders that I've made so that it doesn't get lost. Okay, now we've got our yarn. Now we need to put it through the holes. You might find it easier. You don't have to do this, but if you put a little tape on the end and sort of fold it over, that'll make it a little bit stiffer. Please don't lick the end, because you know what? Then you ask me for help and I touch it and it's wet, and that's just gross. So don't lick it. Okay. So I'm actually going to start from the back. So I start on one end, push it through, and then I'm going to pull it and leave a pretty long tail on the back. It goes pretty much to the other side. Okay? I go straight down. Pull it. Then I am going in the other hole that's right next door. Pull it. By the way, this hand is sort of holding it in that first string in the back. Okay. And you keep going till you get to the end. I'm going to pull it tight, make sure that the warp is as tight as I can get it. I turn it over. And then I'm going to actually tie these two ends together. So just like I'm tying my shoes. I'm going to do it at the top though. Well, I said like I'm tying my shoes, but actually it's a knot. I just do it twice. Okay, ta-da! Now I have a little bit extra, but not too bad, so I didn't waste much. Now, please don't cut it right here, because then if for some reason the knot comes undone, we'll never get it tied again. So leave, you know, a couple inches, like that. And if those strings are bugging you, again, you could just tape them down. All right, now you have your warp on your loom. You're ready to start weaving. I don't think I was recording. Okay, so I just continue over, under, pull, 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 pull. You want to make sure and do not pull too tightly like this. See how the warp is starting to go inward? You want to avoid that. because your warp is really spread out, it's going to be pretty easy to weave. All right, so once you have, like an inch or something accomplished and you're getting the hang of it, you can get a little bit fancy by adding some beads. I wouldn't do this until you really feel like you've mastered this idea. So what you could do is kind of about halfway through, go ahead and pull your weft all the way through, find the end, and then you can stick a bead on. Some of these beads have a hole that's bigger than others. Slide it through. I probably should have chosen a bead with more contrast, but anyway, so I'll end up leaving the bead right there. So you have to check before you continue on with your weaving, since you kind of paused in your pattern. My weft right here is going under the warp, so my next one goes over, then under, and over. Uh-oh, I've made a mistake. I went over the warp twice. Also, I don't like that orange bead, so I'm going to take this out and try it again.